This could have been a lot worse. I mean, you had a series of worst case scenarios here. You had wind setting, you had about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, and you could see that from the Mexican flag that was on the stern. You could see how it was setting in. You had the tide bringing you in, and then you had your engine kick in. And if that rig had gone in the ocean or in the river, you could have had guys strapped in drowning in the river. Again, prudent would have been, hey, leave 2 hours earlier, come out in the slack, or when the tide is going out. That would have been obviously the ideal time to do. But again, I don't think they ever envisioned the idea that their engine would have been, engaged and propel them into the bridge like it did. So this is, I mean, you had a series of worst case scenarios here. You had wind setting, you had about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, and you could see that from the Mexican flag that was on the stern. You could see how it was setting in. Even without the sail set, she has a big sail area, so I mean those masts and rigging is going to catch a lot. You had the tide bringing you in, and then you had your engine kick in, and obviously by the time they started realizing probably what was happening, they couldn't disengage the engine fast enough to get it off. You don't want to call the crew out of the mast because that would involve them unhooking. I mean, the thing that saved all those crew members up in the mast where they were hooked in. So yeah, we had 2 die and a lot injured, but if they were scrambling down the rat lines, that would have been worse because they would have came tumbling out of there, and that would have been a horrific moment there. The worst case scenario, if that was wooden masts like on traditional sailing vessels, those masts are actually tied in together, so they don't stand just independently. They're actually rigged into each other, and they provide what are called stays and shrouds. They hold in place, and so it's kind of a coherent structure. And if you start toppling a mast, it's almost like a domino effect. All the masts start coming down, and what you didn't have was that. What we saw was just the very kind of 2 sets of sails on top. The top sails are the ones that collapse. So we didn't have a catastrophic, and if that rig had gone in the ocean or in the river, you could have had guys strapped in drowning in the river. I mean, wow. This could have been a lot worse than, I don't mean to minimize this, obviously, with as many 2 people dead and wounded, but if this wasn't steel masts and the crew harnessed in, that was it.
Está atendiendo la Secretaría de Marina y la Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores. Hay coordinación con las autoridades locales y por supuesto pues, coordinación entre la Embajada y la Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores y el Gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Y pues está atendiendo primero que nada a los heridos y nuestra solidaridad siempre con una cadete y un marino que fallecieron. Y vamos a estar atendiendo, y ya la causa pues le está revisando Secretaría de Marina, pues las autoridades de allá que también están.